Hi, everyone. I just wanted to reach out. I hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy. Right now, that's the most important thing. But I also know there are a lot of questions about how we're going to move forward in our course. So I wanted to give a brief overview of our plan. Before we begin, I wanted to start by saying it's going to be okay. We're going to do okay. We're going to come through this. I'm here to support you to make sure that you can earn the grade that you want to earn. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to transition 100% to an online course, to an online format, which I know is not ideal. It's not what you signed up for. It's not what I intended on doing. But we're going to make the best of it, and we're hopefully going to meet all the learning objectives and goals that we had at the beginning of the course. So to do this, I've got a three-part plan for us. So part one is we're going to finish module two as scheduled. So this is week 9. So by the end of this week, the three things that are due are the self-check, the journal, and the Teach the Class blog for those of you last names M through Z. Now, just like the other module, if you can't get the journal or the Teach the Class blog completed, you do have the option of turning it in late. For full credit, the only difference is you'll have to double the word count. All right. Then the following week, so next week will be week 10, and that is our midterm week. And that's going to operate pretty much the same way we originally planned. So, at the end of the week, your essay is due. It's about 5 to 7 pages, and it's over that topic that we discussed in class. The only difference is we don't have the face-to-face sessions. So what my plan is on Wednesday and Thursday of next week is holding virtual conferences with you if you'd like to talk about your paper and workshop your paper. I'm happy to answer questions by text or by email all throughout the week. I'm happy to address any issues you might have. The only thing I can't do is I can't review papers that are emailed to me. I just don't have time to review all my students' work. So unfortunately, I can't do that, but I can do this face-to-face kind of thing through the virtual conferencing if you want to take advantage of that. And I'll send more details about that. That'll be Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And then after that, we'll begin module 3. So module 3 will really work the way it was planned. You'll have the self-check, the journal, and the Teach the Class blog, which everybody does this module. And that'll all be due at the end of the module. The only difference is we won't have our face-to-face class sessions, but we'll be using the participation forum to make up those missing days. So just as if you had missed days in any of the other modules and use the participation forum to make up those points, you can now do that in module 3 as well. So this will allow us to keep the same amount of points and keep everything consistent that was originally intended from the beginning of the course. All right. So what's nice about this, I think, is that we already had kind of the nuts and bolts built into Blackboard to transition, and we'll be able to maintain our schedule and keep that consistent, which I think is important for two reasons. One, it's fair to everybody who already started to turn work in, but two, it prevents us from having a bunch of different schedules floating around and making things chaotic, right? So we're just going to stick to our initial schedule, and the only real modification we're going to make is that because we're all missing the face-to-face sessions, we'll be using the participation form to make up those dates. Okay. After module 3, we'll have the post module, and that one will change. That is weeks 14, 15, and 16. I'll spend a little bit more time talking about that later on, but just so you know, the final exam will still be that week 16. And then week 14 and 15 will be the group presentation, which we're modifying, so it's no longer a group presentation. It's now an individual project. And that way, I find that group presentations are very cumbersome in online formats. So an individual project is a much better way, I think, of going about it. All right. So like I said, fortunately, we already had a lot of stuff in our Blackboard. And so this transition, I'm hoping, will be smoother, and we can make sure that you're still accomplishing all the learning opportunities that we had. The only difference is we won't have our face-to-face class sessions, which is a bummer, but I think we can make it work with all of our multimedia and all the resources I provide. So I sent out a schedule last week by email. So go ahead and take a look at that. You'll see that the dates all remain the same dates I used for the beginning when we started week 1. They're the exact same dates as they are today. The only difference is I've made some minor modifications to a couple of things in order to make sure that we can meet all of our points. All right. So that's where we stand. And like I said, I know we can get through this. I know we can work together on this. And my goal is to make this as smooth and as easy as for you. So please feel free to reach out to me by text, by email. If you've got questions or comments or concerns, I'm happy to address anything that you have. But I want to make sure that you are set up to be successful and that we can still have a really enjoyable course. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I'll be talking to you soon.